You've heard of the Grand Canyon, the Galapagos Islands, and Venezuela's Angel Falls. You've probably even heard of more obscure natural wonders, like the needle-like rock forest at Tsingy de Bemaraha. But no matter how much of the Earth we cover, there's always something breathtaking just around the bend. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more amazing content. So, let's get started. Number 10. Barracuda Lake. Situated on the north shore of Coron Island in the Philippines, offers one of the most unique diving experiences in the world. Occasionally referred to as Luluyuan Lake by locals, its crystal blue waters hidden between majestic rocky formations aren't big on actual barracudas and other wildlife. Instead, divers can experience a thermocline and a halocline unlike anywhere else. Starting out on the surface of the lake, divers, swimmers and scuba enthusiasts can expect temperatures around 82 degrees Fahrenheit. But as you descend into the depths of the lake around 45 to 50 feet down, the temperature drastically changes to just over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. To put that in perspective, most people keep their hot tubs at 104 degrees, so it's best to forego a wetsuit here. Another unique feature of the lake is the sand at the very bottom, which has been described as jelly-like, silky, airy and silty. It's apparently good for play too, and although the barracudas aren't really around anymore, if you're lucky, you may still catch a glimpse of one. Number 9. Zanyer Dengsha. This destination is China like you've never seen it before. Zanyer is home to temples hanging from the cliffsides, rock sculptures and hidden caves to explore. These temples will take a bit of hiking to get to, but you'll be welcomed with passageways through caves that take you to beautifully decorated Buddhist rooms. How insane is that? However, the real magic lies with the masterpieces of Mother Nature. The area is home to many unique geological formations, as well as the otherworldly Rainbow Mountains, which truly bring you to another planet. The surreal coloration comes from red sandstone and natural mineral deposits that are formed over the course of a believed 24 million years. Each stripe constitutes a different mineral, and over the ages they've formed layer upon layer, resulting in a rainbow pattern. Erosion from wind and rain has further polished the surfaces of the mountains. China is the only place in the world with this type of mineral formation, and a few of the landforms have become UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Number 8. Giant ground cells. As the highest mountain in Africa, Kilimanjaro itself is pretty outstanding, but as a freestanding mountain whose climate zones become progressively less like the ground-level landscape the further you ascend, Kilimanjaro is especially remarkable as an incubator for isolated, mutated or rare species found almost nowhere else. One of the most striking of those species is the giant ground cell. Something like a cross between a burned-up cactus and a pineapple, these alien-looking plants can only be found on Kilimanjaro and only above 14,000 feet. In order to carve out an existence in such a forbidding environment, that high up the mountains temperatures regularly dip below freezing overnight, the plants have evolved water storage in the pith of the stem, nightinastic leaf movement, which means the leaves close when the temperature drops too far, a natural antifreeze, and self-insulation through withered and dead foliage. Adaptation is really the name of the game for giant ground cells, both on Kili and on other East African mountains. None of the species are exactly the same, but it's guessed that they all evolved from a common ground cell around 1 million years ago. Common ground cells, like the one pictured above, range from 4 to 16 inches tall. Giant ground cells, on the other hand, regularly grow over 10 feet tall, sometimes even 20 feet or more. Number 7. Huacachina. Would you believe that there's a small town in the middle of a desert? Well, technically this small town isn't in the middle of a desert, but it is surrounded by a few miles of dunes and sand, so it counts. It's also built around an oasis, which is a small body of water typically found in deserts. The town is very small, only bolstering around 90 or so people. If you can make it to the small town, then it's a place like no other in the world. There are small shops that invite tourists in, and it seems like a small slice of what life would be like if there were only around 100 people living on Earth. Number 6. Silfra Rift. It's the only place on the planet where it's possible to swim directly between the two continents, North America and Europe. It's the place where the two massive tectonic plates meet and are slowly drifting apart at around 2 centimeters every year, causing earthquakes about once every decade. The rift sits in the gap between the North American and Eurasian continental plates, where an imperfect seam allows explorers into the watery depths an opportunity to dive towards the center of the Earth, where visibility is often as good as 300 feet between lava rock cliffs. Even the waters in Silfra are unique. Since no rivers flow into the Pingvalavatan Lake, the water actually gets slowly extruded through the porous tectonic rock beneath the water's surface. This process filters the water and not only accounts for the lake's incredible clarity, but also makes the lake mostly safe to drink. Pushing water through stone is not very quick, no matter how porous the rock, so it takes between 50 and 100 years for the liquid to become part of the lake. Each drop of water in Silfra is likely over a century old. Photos of Silfra abound, and even amateur divers and photographers find that their experience between the plates is like nothing else on Earth or in its waters. Number 5. The Great Salt Lake. When you think of the Great Salt Lake, you probably picture a pretty sunset from Antelope Island, or the graceful beauty of Spiral Jetty, or the rich history of Saltaire. You probably know that the Great Salt Lake, which covers 1,700 square miles, is the largest saltwater lake in the Western Hemisphere, and that it can be seen from space. From high above, the lake looks very different than you might think. You can see a distinct line where the Lucerne Cutoff cuts through the lake. This 103-mile rail line was originally built on a trestle, but it was replaced by a causeway in the 1950s, which changed the salt content of the lake on one side. Algae grows in both portions of the lake, but the difference in salt concentrations means that different kinds of algae are present in each side. On the lake south of the causeway, cyanobacteria creates the blue-green tones. On the north side of the causeway, an algae called Dunaliella salina grows, and it creates the rich red colours. Number 4. Chand Baori. Chand Baori Stepwell in Abaneri village is one of the oldest and most popular attractions in Rajasthan. It was built by King Chanda of the Nikumba dynasty in 9th century AD. Chand Baori was built to conserve water and provide a respite from the intense heat. It was a community gathering place for locals as well as royals. Chand Baori is an architectural wonder with 3,500 perfectly symmetrical narrow steps. It's this exquisite geometry that draws local and international visitors to it every year. But Chand Baori is not easy to find, making it one of India's hidden wonders. The play of light and shadow on the steps is what makes the structure so captivating. The Baori narrows as one gets closer to the bottom. A double flight of steps on 3 sides takes one to the surface of the water below. The 4th side is a 3-storied pavilion with intricately carved jarokas, or windows, galleries and balconies meant for the royal family to sit in. Number 3. The Hot Rainforest. Everybody knows about the Amazon, the world's largest tropical rainforest. However, there are several lesser-known temperate rainforests, such as the Hot Rainforest in the Olympic Peninsula. Everyone also knows Seattle's reputation for being rainy all the time. Seattle gets around 36 inches of rain a year. By comparison, the whole rainforest gets as much as 14 feet of rain a year. Wow! The prevalent fog and mist contributes the equivalent of another 30 inches of rain, resulting in one of the lushest rainforests, hence its designation as one of the wonders of Washington state. The Holt Rainforest is one of 4 rainforests on the Olympic Peninsula. However, it's the only one that's been awarded the distinction of being a World Heritage Site and a Biosphere Reserve by UNESCO. Its unique ecosystem has remained unchanged for thousands of years, and it's now the most carefully preserved rainforest in the Northern Hemisphere. The most common types of trees that grow in the whole rainforest are Sitka spruce and western hemlock, Washington's official state tree, which can reach over 300 feet high and 7 feet in diameter. Most of them are covered with huge clumps of hanging moss and ferns. Moss is an epiphyte, which is a plant that grows on another plant without harming, as opposed to a parasite. Epiphytes get their moisture and nutrients from the air, rain, fog and debris that accumulate around them. Number 2. Snake Village. It's a well-known fact that India is a country where snakes are considered as revered creatures due to their ancient origin. Every year on the Nag Panchami festival, thousands of devout people in Indian villages worship and feed the snakes to receive divine blessings. However, about 200 kilometers from Pune, Maharashtra in the Sholapur district is located a village named Shetpal. Here, cobra snakes have a permanent abode in each and every house. Snakes are worshipped daily in every heart and home in this village. Shetpal is a village where snakes have no restriction in their movement, and none of the 2,600 plus villagers ever harm them in any way. In fact, cobras are welcomed in every house as a member of the family. Neither the cobras nor the residents live in fear of each other. The people of Shetpal have gone a step ahead in their liking for the venomous co-residents by building a temple in their home. If you're wondering whether there have been any incidents of snake bites in this village, the answer is no. So far, no incident of snakebite has been reported in this village. Apparently, any outsider will find it hard to cope with coexisting with the cobras in Shephal, but if you really wish to befriend them, all you would need is some milk, eggs, and lots of goodwill. Number 1. Bonneville Salt Flats. Way out in Utah's West Desert, there's a brilliant blue canal with water that looks like it was transported from the Caribbean. This spot is literally in the middle of a vast expanse of desert, so you might expect it to be as unoccupied as the rest of this landscape. But on closer inspection, you might find groups of people swimming, paddleboarding and kayaking here. We have to admit, this looks absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it might not be safe. After photos and videos of canals with clear blue water in the West Desert went viral online, authorities are warning the public to stay away. The Bureau of Land Management released a statement that the potash production canals located east of the Bonneville Salt Flats are on private property and are not designed or safe for public recreation. Therefore, the public should not access, swim, float, kayak, canoe or pursue any other recreation activities in these industrial canals. Also, to reach the canal you may have to walk through private land as well. If you see a no trespassing sign, be aware that you're breaking the law. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button, do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.